No drop frames yet. Don't drop the frames. Don't drop the frames. And does it say live?
We're on.
We're on? Now we can hold our sign up. That says the same thing that we already have.
No audio.
No audio, what? No way. We literally had audio. I only swapped this.
Sorry. Apparently I had it on mute.
Okay, you had it on mute?
Yeah, okay, we're good.
No way. We literally had audio. Okay.
There we go. User error.
User error. Still not clever.
Not at all. But we never claimed to be clever. Just juvenile.
We'll start. See, Zach Carter has a question about Ubiquiti.
Already? Jeez, we haven't even said hello yet.
I know.
My goodness.
We have audio. So we actually built... No,
hold on. Welcome to Vlog Thursday.
That's right. Welcome to Vlog Thursday.
This is Tom, and I am Marv.
Those are facts.
We've introduced ourselves now.
Everything after this may or may not be factual, but we got that part covered. Tom is factually going to turn off his phone, because I'm not going to be that guy. Well, I might be that guy, but I'm not going to be that guy with that. So that's off, this is off, and this is muted. So any notices that come over here. Hello.
From...
Martius?
Like Mars?
Mars.
Holy cow. Elon, you son of a bitch.
Did Elon do it while we were busy working on stuff? Like, the dude powered Puerto Rico, if you didn't see that.
Right?
Like, that was in the news this morning. Like, Elon's powering Puerto Rico. I don't care if you like the guy or not. He's powering Puerto Rico.
He's like the closest thing to a superhero, I think. He's like, what? Puerto Rico has no power? Give me a second.
Anyways.
Sweet. 2 years, thanks.
2 years, thank
Carter.
you. Awesome. I'll try to answer your Ubiquiti question, but if it's more in depth, send me an email, and that's better to look at. Just don't type 3 or 4 paragraphs. Like, just tell me what you kind of need to know, or you can hire us to do something. That is what we do.
No, see, right there. See, that's
always thinking like an entrepreneur, or businessman, and all that stuff here. I feel like I should be a little closer to Marvin, though. I feel a little offset when I look at the video.
Closer.
Yeah.
Maybe we just both
now we're also hoping, and we'll pre-start this with. I'm hoping this goes much smoother because we dedicated a used streaming computer to this. So it's not on my laptop. It's a dedicated computer that's just running live streams. We're working on building a specifically for studio. We're testing out. There's a hodgepodge of wires over here I did to do this. So, yeah, tom@launchsystems.com is my email address. So, yep, I'll actually pull that in there so people know. I do my best to reply to emails.
Seriously?
Yeah, but you have to be kind of concise on it. And if you send, I will cover this. People send me emails like, Tom, what do you think of this? Whatever networking device they have. Looks nice. What do I think of things is a very difficult answer. You kind of, when people ask me very general questions, I'm not trying to be a smartass. I reply with what I think. Looks nice. I don't know what you want me to do. Someone sent me a list of motherboards the other day. What do you think of these motherboards? They all are pretty. I don't know. I mean, is there a specific question?
Put some lights on them and put them on the wall. They'd make a great decoration.
Yeah. And I do sometimes reply with an amount to quote you what I think of them too. So it's hard for me to answer all of them. I mean, the problem is I really want to answer everything, but I also get that many emails. I'm obsessive, and I try to reply to everyone. But I won't lie. That's an intense part of my day. Is every day I go through those emails 7 days a week, and we have to do customers and things like that. They kind of get priority. So. Anyways, I don't mind the suggestions and things like that. A lot of you have done some really good, just general suggestions for what we should cover. I like those. They're not even, I don't need to reply to them. You're like, hey, Tom, in the next video, could you maybe cover this topic? And I'm like, sure.
Hey, Zach gave us $1.99. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
Now,
I appreciate it.
He said he called earlier and asked to speak with Tom. Would you have given us more if Tom had actually spoken with you?
Yeah, and I went on the phone. So give you a little insight. I did some analytics here. So the tech line, we have a couple tech lines, and cumulatively, they had 12 hours last month of usage on the tech lines. Tom had 11 hours of usage on my phone line. Just my line's 11 hours that I was on just my office phone, not my cell phone.
Wow.
So, and I also obsessively applied emails. If you want to get an idea, this is like I sliced into my day so I could do the vlog stuff, but I actually spend a lot of time on the phone too. So, I do what I can. I talk to a lot of people, but that's why sometimes I like when I start with an email and sometimes call people back because I don't mind replying with voice if I have context, so you don't have to explain to me. Plus, I have a hard time. This is a literal problem I have. If you start explaining and throwing model numbers at me, I kind of zone out a little bit because I have a hard time grasping sometimes what people are saying, and I don't know why. I can verbally communicate back, but sometimes when people communicate things like that, I'm like, megabytes, megabits, what did you say? And then if I read it, I can understand it better. So
you'll see it. You can see it. It's the look on his face. You can tell. It's just kind of he's just off somewhere.
Yeah, and somewhere in between, I actually have to run this company. It doesn't run itself yet. Well, it does kind of, and then it gets all messy. And then, he's important too. Zach, you bought a lot of stuff. So what you're doing with all that stuff you bought, let me know, because I think that may be where your problem is. You want to know how to plug it all in. I don't know. Send me an email with at least kind of what you're trying to do or what part you're stuck on, or if you just want to contract us to do the setup work and we hand it off to you. Just so you know, that's a popular thing we do.
Yeah.
We did another free NAS for doctor's office, dental office yesterday. The guy, the owner of the company, the dentist, is a really nice guy. He had it all set up. He just didn't have some of the details. He needed syncing and a few other stuff to synchronize all of his data. And he contracted us. Because he did most of the work, it wasn't a lot to contract us to do the detail work. Because as long as I know the IP addresses and logged in and it's all generally set up, adding sync things and jails and stuff like that was easy. That was not a lot of my time and didn't charge me too much money for it. We're real reasonable on things like that. That being said,
For your house, Zach? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when it all goes wrong and things we love.
Here we go. All right.
Marvin doesn't even know why I put that as a title.
Well,
but he has an idea.
I just want to know which one we're going to talk about that went wrong.
Yeah. Which wrong are we going to talk about?
Right.
So the wrong we will start with is hold on. Yep. We'll start with things we love.
Yeah.
We got that part of our website done. So check it out. I'm going to update all our descriptions on our YouTube about that. And what it is all the things that we kind of recommend. We like UniFi. We like Invoice Ninja. We just have links to a lot of those things. And we wanted to put them all in one place. If you go to lawrencesystems.com, you can check that out. We also have links to our hot sauces with some descriptions for some of them. And that's all to tell you. People say, what do you use? What do you like? And we keep that list up to date. So if you asked me before, hey, Tom, do you like this or that? You can now look, and it's always current because we are always changing and updating which hot sauces you like. So if I hate a hot sauce, that's going to go away. Same thing we have links to UniFi cameras, UniFi routers, Netgate stuff, which is PF Sense. We have a lot of links to a lot of.
We get a lot of questions about laptops and desktops.
Yeah, if you want to know which computers we recommend, that's same thing. We have computers we recommend, and away we go. So you can pick one out and buy them. So that's kind of the things we love, and we're going to keep expanding that section of our website. It kind of coincides with things we review, because this is a question that's come up before, is why don't you review products and bash on them type thing. Someone actually asked me that. I'm like, I don't know. If I don't like something, I won't even bother reviewing.
It's not worth the time.
Yeah, why would I review it? I don't want to just go around being negative. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to do it that way. So generally speaking, that I'm not going to review a lot of products that I hate. So that's one thing. I will comment on things like people say, well, why don't you do a review of Telegram? And I just say I don't like it, and I kind of drop it there, and I talk about the security problems that Telegram has had. But I will give a hats off to what Telegram recently did in Russia, which was they moved, so they knew Russia was going to block them, so they moved their servers in between the blocks of the IP ranges of the Google and Amazon. So because Russia blocked them very bluntly by blocking IP ranges, they blocked Google and Amazon at the same time. So that, of course, caused anger in Russia.
Of course.
And because they're unlike China, who does blocking, you can't just block things like that in Russia. They don't have an alternate service they could use.
Right.
So, yeah.
Clever.
So, yeah.
They
So,
are
I'll talk about XCP-NG shortly. I will talk about when everything goes wrong, and it's specifically, we'll just talk about the client. Me and Steve are going to do a full debrief on this, because this was a disaster of epic proportion that included spending from 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. Well, no, 6 to 8 a.m. maybe? I don't know.
8 a.m.,
Yeah, Steve was there from 2 a.m. just trying to recover servers. And we have all these hard drives laying around over here. People might recognize, RAID array drives that, well, they're crappy RAID array drives. They're not even real RAID drives. We knew the old IT guy made a mess. And we did not want to take the server apart because of all the blinky red lights on it. But we seen the blinky red lights when we took on the client. We're like, you should replace that. And it turns out that he was using Western Digital green drives and other random drives he had bought and hodgepodged them together into a Dell server that was running Zen server. Now, like I said, I'm going to get an entire debrief on what we did from top to bottom, including how SolarWinds helped save our butt.
Yeah.
But during the restore process, we suffered a power outage, a local drive failure, and a second server going down before the transfer finished. So we had to then, again, go back to relying on SolarWinds. Good news is, we had talked the client into full backup procedures. We just hadn't talked them into replacing the server. Step at a time. I mean, I know people that say, I don't want to deal with clients that don't want to just buy everything new. That's great. I wish I could find every one of those clients. If you know them, throw them my way that have an unlimited budget and everything new is not a problem. But that was not his situation. They can afford stuff, but only to an extent, because there's budgeting concerns. That they have a lot of moving pieces at their company. Technology is one of those moving pieces that had to be upgraded. So it was a big project. Me and Steve were we're gonna do a video debrief on it because we're gonna talk about what we did, how it went wrong, how it went right, things we thought we could have done better. Always kind of post it, but it's sharing knowledge with you of how maybe things should be set up. So that's a definitely something, there's a lot of valuable lessons that can be learned from it. That's why we want to do a full debrief on it. Moving on, what else did I want to talk about?
Other disasters.
Other disasters.
Were there other disasters?
There was the whack and rack. I did a video on that. So yeah, that project. Someone whacked our rack, and if you watched about it,
which ordinarily we're cool with.
Yeah, but today we're not. So that project's been a little bit taxing a bit. So it's one of those things, because what happened was they kept moving things around. And I talked about this in the video. Just the timelines got moved up. They want to change when they're doing the floors, which means we don't get to have the man lifts, which means we don't get to move the way we want. Now they said all of them are going away. Then they told us they're not. Then they told us the man lifts were all going to be gone by Wednesday. They're not gone. It's Thursday. So we don't know. This is the fun of doing these projects.
And it turns out I don't think the man lifts are actually going to be gone at all. I think they're going to be gone from an area.
Yes.
But we were told they're out of here. They're gone. You can't use them anymore.
Right, which is kind of a pain, because if you've seen the way that project's going, you need a man lift just to get to the rack because it's 20 foot up where the wire falls are from. So to finish securing the wire falls, we need a 20-foot man lift because you can't get a ladder that high, and it's like almost feels like an elevator shaft. It's not an elevator shaft, but it's like the electrical room is a tall, narrow room. So look at that video and you can see what I'm talking about, and you'll see the challenges if you don't have a man lift. And a lot of people ask this, just so you know, OSHA on a scissor lift doesn't require to be roped off as long as the scissor lift has proper railing. I've gotten numerous messages about it. The other lift we do have a harness for, because someone's seen the other one in the background that we used, and yes, we use a harness for that one. There's one you have a harness for and one you don't. Just clearing that up in case you want. I'm not gonna Google it. How's that? So give you an idea on that. Other things are, we made money, and so that we had some profit, which was a little unusual compared to the last couple of months. And it made me think, because I want to do...
We had a lot of outflow for these big projects, though, the last couple of months.
Yeah, so the inflow's coming back
now
in.
Now we're starting to get
And I kind of want to cover that in business, because I think that's something people get a lot of confusion about, is if you're starting a business, how you manage the money, how you handle it, and how we fund the projects. We don't use any credit lines. Matter of fact, we self-fund most all the projects. We get deposits from clients, so there's kind of a back and forth on there, but I'm trying to think of a good way to do a little bit more of an in-depth video on how money works in a business. And there's been some confusion. I noticed this because this came up as a topic in one of the discussion forums of someone's like, yeah, I've got 2 or 3 of my MSPs and they were all just because they've been audited. I'm like, what'd you guys do? But it comes down to a lot of them don't separate their finances. They run things kind of loose. And I'm like, no. This is something I'm going to make a serious video about because you have to do things in a very concise way, the way you claim things and everything else, and the way you put the money together. And what happens is people run their business and their personal accounts kind of together and then try to separate it. You are just asking for trouble if you do that. So you're just like... you're going to have issues if you do that. So
don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that. Keep all the finances separate. Keep separate cards. Don't try to say, well, I'll expense these couple things. And that's what gets people in trouble is you can legitimately take something, buy it with your personal money, then expense it back to the business. But the problem is when you start expensing lots of things back into business is it creates these secondary trails without actual receipts because you have receipts from those purchases, but it kind of looks like a cash move because a business moved cash over, and that's where you can get in trouble and kind of need an audit because they need to know and look more in depth on there. Versus the way I do it, my company's structured as an S Corp, and we have company cards, and we directly buy things on company cards instead of expense reports. So the direct purchases line up to the ledgers that are filed for proper expenses with the IRS and state authorities. Well, if you're here in the U.S., those are the authorities that manage that. So there's a clear, all the money came into the company, where the money went precisely, and it didn't go to some expense report. Because expense reports are often ways people hide it. They're like, well, the company needed it so it can buy it from me. That is legal to do, but it is also what the IRS goes, well, how much did you pay for it?
Right.
Because you're now making profit, and did you pay taxes on the profit that you made buying something for you, marking it up to your company, and buying it back from yourself and moving it over?
Right.
I mean, you can do that. Make sure you have a good accountant. That's all.
Yep. Because
it's I have a cousin who's been twice audited by the IRS because they run everything to the line, but they're really smart. And their last audit netted them $2,000 extra after the audit. And they got the same 2 years in a row they were audited, and they said, "Go, we're ready for third." They don't care.
Bring it on.
Yeah, they're very smart. They're financially very savvy, and
Yeah.
it was funny because of the stuff they've done. So
That's pretty good.
But we still didn't get to. I did the UniFi video on all the review of all the UniFi stuff and which UniFi you should buy. I missed one of them. I think someone pointed out. Someone's like, I didn't cover this one. I didn't cover their entire product line. I'm just going to be honest because the video would be forever long. Like, it was a 30-minute video just to cover the product line of AP units that I did cover.
Yeah.
So
What all did you cover?
just all the ones that we had in stock,
Okay.
and a couple others that there's the UniFi HD and the HD Pro, which is one more level up than the one we have. And someone brought up a point in there, and I don't understand what this is. Well, it's hard to quantify. They brought up, they're like, well, why does UniFi kind of tell you how many users can attach to each AP? Well, the reason they tell you that is because those are kind of hard limits in there, and they're important. It's hard to tell you bandwidth and speed because there's so many factors that go into wireless. We've just played with wireless here in the office. Just moving it from one end to the building to the other makes a big speed difference because of the way things bounce around on the walls. So the way you actually would have to do the wireless testing to actually do it proper, to make sure there's no outside interference, is not just by setting the Wi-Fi here on the table and connecting it to my laptop. That won't actually do it. What you need to do is build a Faraday cage and then do it. Then you can do accurate Wi-Fi testing because external Wi-Fi signals will interfere with local ones, even though there's not a Wi-Fi device between me and my laptop. It is local here. You still may have problems unless you have an absolute Faraday cage around them. So Wi-Fi speed testing is very hard to do. Now, someone else, and I'm going to say I contacted Willie because he's done a video about this too. Check out Willie Howe's channel for a lot of his UniFi videos. But something very important was someone said that the way the UniFi works, there's no way that the speed claims are as fast as they are. And they sent me an article that UniFi said, no, they're not as fast. Well, they are as fast. The UniFi article you sent me was a few years old. It was true when it was written. It's not true in 2018 based on those devices. Now, it's also really hard to test Wi-Fi because I don't have a dual MIMO I don't have the proper laptops here to connect at the fastest possible speed. So I can't test the speed at its potential maximum. It takes very ideal situations to do it.
Yeah.
But most of the time with Wi-Fi, speed is relatively important. What's way more important generally than speed is Wi-Fi density, and that's why they give you the numbers on there. So that's something to think about there. Wi-Fi density, because that's what it comes down to. How many devices are you going to have? And for example, this big project we're doing, they have a high density of people. They don't care about speed. Matter of fact, a lot of this will be rate limited through a probably like a captive portal, and we're going to set up rate limiting on there. So no one person gets too much of a stream because we don't want them sucking up bandwidth. It's just so they can check messages and share photos of their friends and things like that.
Right.
That's what the goal is, not to give them full streaming Netflix every device that connects on there at the fastest 4K speeds, because they will do that if you let them. That's not how that network's going to be set up.
Yeah.
So,
But if their business is successful and all goes well, they'll have a few hundred people in there any given time.
yep.
And
And the goal is to let them, the reason a lot of businesses give away Wi-Fi, especially if it's an event business, is to help share that event. So people share it on social media. If they have a faster connection, they can share it. They do not need a gigabit connection. They generally just need some connection, and they're good. This is what hotels do as well. They do not give you the full bandwidth that the hotel may have. Generally, if it's a fancier hotel, not like a real crappy one, they're going to have really high-speed internet. But they're going to limit that internet so no one person in any one room sucks it all up, so they're going to rate limit it so each connection may only get some percentage of that connection. So something to think about. That's why the Wi-Fi is done kind of the way it is.
also because they want you to buy the movies and pay for the extra HBO from their TVs. That's how they get you.
Okay, now this is a great question that Don Huska just asked, because it is absolutely relevant to the disaster that we had. So 5 servers on Zen, 2 servers on VMware 5 is an old version. And we were able to successfully export the files. Well, here, let's go a step further. I can't really say successfully export. I will say we successfully imported the VMware machines into Citrix Zen Server, but they should work just because Citrix Zen Server is because this company has commercial licenses. They will import fine. And we didn't have to uninstall the VMware tools until after, which we kind of didn't have a lot of choice. We wanted to create a snapshot, uninstall the VMware tools, and export everything over and do it proper. But the server exploded in between, and the hard drives are over here. We didn't export nothing out of that thing. And we then restored over to the Zen server. After it booted up, we uninstalled the VMware tools and rebooted, and it worked fine. Then we installed the Zen tools, which even without installing the Zen tools, the networking and everything worked. But of course, we went ahead and installed the Zen tools, so it had the proper ones on there. So yes, you can export out of VMware. Granted, it was an older version, so I have not tested it with like the latest. I think ESSX 6.5 might be the latest, but I'm sure it would work the same. That being said, XCP-NG, I'm still excited about it. We're still running a couple servers with it. We actually loaded one for testing yesterday when we were just loading something to test it, and load up a couple of VMs in there because they had them. And that seems to be working fine. I still have, knock on wood, no problems. My home computer now has been running for, I know, knock on, this for Micah.
For whatever.
Yeah,
Close
whatever it's
enough.
made of.
I'm sure there's...
So XCP-NG seems to be working great. That I really don't have an issue on any of it. So thumbs up to those guys. I'm just waiting for their next release. It's beta, so it's not something we installed for our client, but we do know it does in-place upgrades, so it may be the upgrade path for the client on there. Nope, no paid. We had free VMware. Someone asked if the license was free on the VMware as well. We don't. Like I said, it was an old version, whatever. The server died before we got everything out of it. That happens. But that's where SolarWinds came in, and we used SolarWinds and backed it all up. But we'll cover that in a whole other video.
Part 2 of the disaster recovery,
Part
whatever.
2 of disaster recovery.
Yeah.
So that being said, what else do we got?
I got a thing in like 10 minutes.
Okay. You have a meeting?
Yeah.
What is
The
it?
chamber ambassador thing.
Oh, I think I'm supposed to be at that at 4.
Oh, no, this isn't the ABO. That's like next week, I
Okay.
think. This is Ambassador.
I see. I thought I put it in a calendar.
Yeah.
As you may know, I am also, when I'm not talking about tech, I am on the board for the Southern Wayne County Regional Chamber. So occasionally I have other things to do. He made me panic a little when he said he had to be somewhere, and I'm like, am I supposed to be there too?
No. This is just ambassadors.
Yeah.
Ambassador night out.
Ambassador night out. AEOMI.
Are we just saying vowels?
Yep. AEOMI. AOMI Backupper. I typed that in there, and I may be spelling it wrong, but I think you'll get the idea. The AOMI Backupper, what you can do if you have a VMware running, you can just export it out using a tool like AOMI Backupper and pull the data from the old system. Like actually boot it off a CD inside there, boot it up, create an export file. So instead of exporting the VM, you actually are just cloning it to another machine. It's actually an option. We've done that before and it works. We've gotten VMs off when we couldn't export them. It is a solution. We had to do that with one of the VMs because there was no other way to do it. Because it just wouldn't export because of other reasons. So, but the AOMI Backupper did the job.
Yay!
So it's a great little utility. It's not that expensive. You can get the server and enterprise editions for like $130 if you want the high end version of it. But yeah, it definitely does a trick. Mission Impossible, that happened today. I didn't tell you about it, but I have a client, and if they're listening, I'm fine with this. Because this is the person who got super angriest for not putting setting up a stylus.
Oh, that.
So, I get it. We all want technology just to work. But what happened, and these are some of the issues, is this particular individual, they have money, and we take care of them IT-wise, but their demands are wanting things to just work so flawlessly and so perfect that it doesn't, like, I don't care what it costs, make it work. One of the examples is their wireless printer situation. They want a wireless printer that works absolutely every time and flawlessly without any problems. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes the printer has to be restarted. I don't know. I think wireless printers are awful. Now, it's a wireless printing problem with their phone to their thing. Their computers print to it fine. Restarting it fixes it. I don't know. I've tried to review this, and it seems like I find more hate for these type of devices.
It's like the definition of first world problems. I just want to throw that out there.
Yes. Yeah, that I can't print from my phone. The other problem today was that their Outlook, or that allegedly, and I think they just didn't click save. I don't know. I have no way to prove this. But they're angry because they lost a couple hours of work and their billable rate's quite high, and they lost 2 hours of work because Excel didn't autosave. But it seems to be autosaving fine. They said they typed a lot in Excel, then Windows decided to update or whatever. I don't know. I'm very fuzzy on any of that part of it, but it didn't save, and I can't tell why. There's an autosave, but they're 2 hours apart, and I don't know why. It's set to only autosave every 5 minutes. But they're mad at me about it, like as if I did it wrong, and I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. And we have customers like that, like they just want it to work, and I get it. We all want it to work. My suggestion is to use Google Docs, because
that one,
yeah, because it doesn't need autosave. It just saves as you type.
It does,
but
yeah.
They don't like that at all because they refuse to use anything other than Excel because that's what they're used to. They also hate the fact that Outlook crashes once in a while. And I got nothing for them other than you have to restart Outlook once in a while. I don't know why.
Huh.
Yeah, it's Outlook.
Yeah. It's Outlook. My Gmail seems to work pretty well. So does our Google Sheets.
Yeah, so
Just saying.
We suggest other products if you want them to work better. Those clients are very, very difficult to deal with sometimes. I sometimes get on the edge because the stylus incident is the one that kind of unnerved me because they had a computer, they broke it, spilled something on it. I have no idea what happened to it. The keyboard completely quit working. They wanted it on our computer immediately. And I said, I don't have one in stock. We can order one for you. Ordering one, they wanted it like in an hour. And I said, I can't get it here in an hour. So they ran over to Best Buy, bought a computer, and we installed Dropbox on it and started copying their files. Then they were mad because it took too long to get their data. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It takes this long to get the data back. We're copying it. You use Dropbox, the business version, it's copying back. Then, when they came and picked it up, it still wasn't completely done, but they were willing to take it home and load the data. But they were angry when they got it home, or back to their office, I should say, home office, and we didn't set up the stylus. And
didn't put a battery in it.
Yeah, I guess it needs a battery. I don't know what the stylus needs, but they were just I got berated in 3 emails over the stylus not being set up, and I'm just like, Really? I mean, you picked it up before. We told you to pick it up by 5. You show up at noon to get it. I didn't even look in the box for the stylus because I never think about stylus. We right away started on it and started downloading because we knew it'd take a long time to get your Dropbox data. Yeah, I'm as polite as I can be with clients. I'm not afraid to talk about it. I've had the same discussion, and she told me I was being condescending when I said just put the battery in it. She goes, "This is what I pay you for," and I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know it had a stylus. Well, isn't it your job to read the instructions and look to see what it came with? I'm like, I don't expect laptops to come with styluses. I don't think about that.
Yeah.
No, I can't name all the business laptops that we have, and none of them had a stylus. You bought it from Best Buy, so it was a consumer laptop, and yeah. Oh man,
and yes, it is what you pay us for. It's $120 for us to come out and put the battery in.
Yeah. So, and they got mad about that. It's just, and they said, "Well, it's just come out battery, and why should you charge me full price?" I'm like, "Because we have to drive out to your office to do it." I mean, what do you want?
Right.
I don't know. Someone asked, how old of a server can you use a FreeNAS on and still run a VM? I think a 2950 supports virtualization. I will tell you, we just retired a client's 2950. It made a great heater and not a great FreeNAS box. It sits at idle at 300 watts. You can probably buy another less expensive computer that would run better based on the power consumption of that thing over 6 months. So I don't know. And FreeNAS does run on a lot of old hardware. You'd have to look through. What you do to figure out if it'll work on your hardware is look up the hardware that's in your 2950 Dell or whatever device you have. Look at the free BSD compatibility list. And generally speaking, that will be accurate to what FreeNAS will run. Same goes for pfSense. Will pfSense work with this network card? Does FreeBSD support it? Because that is the underlying operating system that both of these are built on.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, it should. Okay, someone in here says it doesn't run FreeNAS very well. I have not tested. I don't have anything that old. We actually have a client. We were looking at repurposing some stuff for them when we found out they had 2950s. Just on the wattage alone, we said we're just going to build you something basic. They just need a simple NAS storage server as an add-on to their larger stuff to back it up. They just want a second copy. Their primary system, which we just built, and this is that client that some of it all went wrong, the primary system we built is a 12 terabyte RAID array, RAID 10 with SAS drives, really high RPM, and a giant storage array. Like, it's a really nice setup. They just want a second copy of all that data on site to go and pair with all that data that is backed up off-site because of the time it takes to get all the data back. We set these up. Sometimes you can build a cheaper FreeNAS machine, a high-end machine that you primarily work off of, and you just kind of copy all the data and duplicate it there. You don't need to, I mean, it would be nice if their budget would allow another $8,000 storage array. They don't have another $8,000 in their budget just for a storage array to match the one. I mean, we love redundant dual storage arrays. They're awesome. But we can build them an inexpensive FreeNAS out of general hardware that just copies all the data and keeps a copy of it local on a RAID array. And I don't see any problem with that at all. It fits their budget, and it's a good safety net. And it is, in case something terrible happens at the building, it is off-site. But by the way, when you pull down 6 terabytes of data from off-site, that takes a minute. So
yeah, a little bit of time.
This is something you got to think about when you're doing the planning phase of any of this. Just really think about that.
Yeah, do the math on that. Six terabytes at...
Yeah. I want to do some more testing with the VMs and FreeNAS. I want to see how they're coming along. But I will admit, my basic playing with them, I had problems with them. I did not like it. It did not work well. It crashed and locked up. My friend Tony, who co-hosts the Sunday Morning Linux Review podcast with us, Tony has done a lot more testing and actually got the VMs up and running, and he's told me about all the quirkiness with it, which is good because he solved a lot of little issues. One of them was a weird MAC address problem and stuff he had to edit config files for to make it, like, to get things working exactly how he wanted. It's been quirky for him too, so it just doesn't, and I haven't tried it with the latest version of FreeNAS, which would be U4 right now, but I don't know where it is on the roadmap. But what I can tell you with FreeNAS, hello from Russia. I'm glad you have access to us from Russia.
Yeah.
I heard there's some issues over there. something blocking Amazon and Google and Telegram and all that fun stuff. So hello from Russia.
Welcome, comrade.
Yeah, welcome, comrade. What's a good... So I don't know. The Russian band that comes to mind is Little Big. Every Day I'm Drinking. That's what
Oh, yeah.
we love that song.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well-
Are they really big over there now, or we just like them because we're American?
What were the women that got thrown in jail?
Pussy Riot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the only Russian bands I know.
Pussy Riot, Little Big. Those
Yeah.
are the two.
Now that song's in my head.
Every day I'm drinking. Every day I'm drinking. That's such a great song. I don't know. Maybe it's offensive to you. I don't know. Tell me.
Yeah.
We just think it's funny. We've seen it on YouTube and we're like, this is just hysterical. I don't know if it's making fun of Russia or just, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't ever want to be offensive. We certainly celebrate the redneck culture that we have.
Ain't that the truth?
And they make up a percentage of what you see on Fail Army.
A large percentage.
A large percentage. So
We had a couple of questions. Somebody wanted to know what brand name server you would recommend, Dell, HP, Lenovo, if you had to go with one.
I like Lenovo. Is it their server?
Yeah, talking about servers. If you had to buy a brand name server, Dell, HP, Lenovo, which server would you
I like
go
Dell. Dell for servers. Lenovo makes good servers too. The thing I like about Dell servers, and hey, look, Server Monkey shirt.
with? Boom!
Check out servermonkey.com. By the way, we have a discount code for you on Server Monkey under things we love. So don't lie about that. But you can check the discount code. I think gets you 10% off. Anyways, the nice thing about a lot of the Dell servers is really, really cheap to find parts for them, like ridiculously cheap, even for a server that's relatively new. You can, like R530 is a current line of servers, and if you say, I'm going to buy one, but I need an extra power supply, I want a couple spare parts for it, you can go on eBay and hunt down cheap parts for current Dells. It's part of Dell's dominance in the marketplace of just having so many servers out there that there's a good churn, so you can always find good deals on the parts for them. That being said, I got to, last year I was at the Microsoft Build conference, and I got to see some of the new...
Sorry, somebody was saying they were having no audio, so I just wanted to check.
I was at the Build conference, and I got to admit, and I think I did a video of this, the new Lenovo line of servers is sweet. Lenovo came up with these servers that it's just really novel. If you want to replace the fans, they have an option where the fans can pull out from the front without removing the server from the rack and lifting the lid up. The fans have to be, so if a server is like a 2U server or 4U server, the fans have to push air from the front to the back, which means the fans face this way. They developed these little rails, so when you pull this little card, the fans flip up and slide out, and when you do it in, they drop down and back to their proper position to pull the air through. They did it so you can service servers with less downtime. Like, their engineering level work on their stuff is really, really nice, and so I like a lot of the Lenovo stuff that I see out there. I think they make a good product, but if you're looking for something that you can get some really cheap parts for, Dell is a great way to go. Hit Craigslist and just type in like Dell servers. You almost always can find people selling really cheap Dell servers online. We found some, and sometimes I've gotten deals on them. We bought some because Dell has transferable warranties. We picked up, and I met some people over this. I made some good IT friends this way. We bought as many as they had, all these Dell servers. They were all decommissioned when Kmart got bought by Sears.
Sears, yeah.
They decommissioned servers that had 5-year warranty. They still had 2.5 years of warranty left, and they sold me each server. I don't remember what the specs are. It's been a few years, because that was probably like in 2013 or whenever that happened. We bought all these servers, and we made 8 times our money on them, and they were under warranty. We actually, we went through any parts that were bad and called Dell, and they shipped us all the new parts for them. And we just got all the brand new parts. We got them all up and running. We sold used servers.
Hey, why not, right?
Yeah, we cleaned them and loaded them. So it was like, wow, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't, like I said, and when it comes to Lenovo, this is a ThinkPad. This is the same one I've done a review on before, the X250. I really like their laptops. I've been really happy with them. That being said, I do want to go to a System 76. I'm a big fan of theirs and the Linux laptops, but the X250s and a lot of Lenovo business class laptops, one, they're really solidly built. So they have no flex to them when you pick them up like that. Like, they're not like the chintzy stuff that you buy. And the Lenovo outlet store is your best friend. This laptop was retailing for $1,100, and I snagged it off the store with not as much memory. So the only thing I had to do was upgrade the memory in it, but it came with an SSD and everything for only $480. It was less than half and came with the warranty with the offer of extended.
Wow.
So
you just had to put some more memory in it.
Yeah, it came with 4 and I wanted 8. So I really like them. So yeah.
Yeah, wow. Some people don't, who are in this forum, in fact.
Yep. Yeah, System 76 is moving their production to the U.S. I'm excited about that.
Hey.
Shout out to Willie. So definitely.
Charles, thank you so much.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, definitely the System 76 ones, they didn't have a model that really fit my needs like this one did, because I needed something with both VGA and DisplayPort on the side and a lot of options. But the new models that they have definitely fit that. So the System 76 might be my next laptop. If you're interested in laptops, check them out. Especially if you're like me, I never run Windows on my laptop. Windows runs into VM. That's it. If that, and it's hardly ever. I update my VM. I turn it on more to update it to make sure it doesn't get stuck in the middle of an update if I actually needed it for something. But yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so for the most part, all my in Lenovo and of course System 76 is totally Linux compatible. They ship it. I want to review. I've been in contact with them. We wanted one of their laptops to review. They said they're going to try to get it to us, but they're really in demand. Blah blah blah. But we're going to be reviewing their Pop OS pretty soon, either on the podcast, the Sunday Morning Links Review podcast, or I'll do a review of it. But it won't be an in-depth review because neither one of us are going to load it and actually run it. I like Kden Live way too much, or KDE Neon way too much to actually switch. So not a lot there.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I have to go to my thing. Are you going to keep talking?
Yeah, go ahead and go to your thing. I'll talk a little bit longer.
Okay.
Because I just have to be here. Tell us about Jack White Hall at the Masonic Building, please.
Well, it used to be the Scottish Rite Theater.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want to know? Yeah. He donated a bunch of money to help them get some of their back taxes paid so that the city wouldn't foreclose.
So Willie.
Oh, look at that!
He should be addressing you differently.
He should be
as a was and has.
Yeah, exactly. Please. I did not spend 4 years in worshipful school to simply be called brother. Okay. But no, it was cool though. Jack White did donate money, and so they named the theater after him. So for those of you who are wondering, we may or may not be part of the Illuminati and running the world.
Yeah.
But if we are, we're all in trouble because we can't even really get a fish fry organized properly.
Yeah. Anyone who thinks we run the world, we don't.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Anyone's never listened to Kevin argue for an hour about hot dogs.
Exactly. But
anyways, Willie got everything we're saying, and I know at least 2 other people that understand completely. We will get off that topic.
Yeah, yeah. Average age of our membership is 80. Oh, wow, you got a young crew.
Yeah, you got a young crew there. Willie's got it's a young crowd there.
I may or may not be monitoring your progress on behalf of the order. That's funny.
And Willie's also right. They cannot choose between chocolate and vanilla ice cream.
Oh, gosh, no. Oh,
you don't even bring it up. Look, the hot dog bun debate was enough. So. Oh, man.
All right. Well,
okay, business related. Marvin's actually going to run.
We shall part on the square, my good brother.
Yes.
Everybody have fun. Ask Tom lots of questions. Really put him through the ringer.
Yeah. Yeah, feel free to put me through the ringer here.
And a lot of you were asking earlier, so now you can see the full shirt. It says 0 days without sarcasm.
But not sriracha. We thought it said 0 days without sriracha.
Since sriracha, which it's been a couple days since sriracha.
We were going to squirt sriracha on them. Just didn't happen, though.
Yeah. Anyway. See you, everybody.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm not going to keep it going too much longer, but is there anything specific you wanted to ask me or anything? I actually feel I'm going to...
There you go. Yes, please do that.
Yeah. I have now taken over the middle of the screen. All right.
You want me to send anybody in?
NVR, for NVR Blue Iris. So people are wondering, if you asked about other NVRs, someone else had asked about Zmoto. Not Zmoto, I'm sorry, the other one that's open source. The open source NVRs are not well developed. I haven't tested it in a while, but last time I tested it was very good. But I will give a shout out I'll give a shout out to Blue Iris. We have a couple clients who are running Blue Iris. It is a reasonably good software. Please mind the specs when you're buying it and make sure you have an Intel processor that supports the media extensions that Blue Iris needs, and it will run a lot better. ZoneMinder, okay, yeah, people mentioned the other one. ZoneMinder, I kept seeing Zmoto. I'm not the biggest fan of Zmoto. Zmoto, that's how I feel like I should say it. So the ZoneMinders, it's neat. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But the Blue Iris, although it's a Windows only program, we do have a few clients running it. As long as you spec the machine out like intensely, it will work pretty good. It pins the processors. I don't remember the specs on it. Maybe I'll go back and look at it. I've never done a video on it. I'm not particularly fond of the software. It was like one of those solutions that got the job done. They already had it. We upgraded the machine and added a couple more cameras to it because it was cheaper than rebuilding the entirety of the network and new cameras for them. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll give ZoneMinder another go because I see people saying that they like it here. So, yeah. Nonetheless, I'm trying to think of what else I should cover today. I'm usually not at a loss for words, but I am super exhausted from the last week of everything going wrong, meetings, more meetings, a few other meetings that I had with clients and getting just project lined up. It's also cut into some of my video time, so I've been kind of happy that I've been this is actually like a break. I love doing videos because it's a break from the mental drain that it occasionally is to get everything else that I have going. Because human interaction is the hardest part of my job most of the time. So when I have to go to a bunch of board meetings, it can be very tedious for me. I'm very fidgety, and I have to explain things. It's not a technology thing. It's just not the way I like to work. But I know these things are required for my business in order for us to get these big projects. That I have to go and explain and sell why you're going to spend a lot of money with my company. And, those things happen. I have to go to several board meetings for some of that. So, phone systems were transferred over to Free PBX. The details are fuzzy. I say fuzzy because I'm still working on porting my number off of RingCentral. We do have the system set up. We did get all the extensions programmed. We don't think we have all the menus the way we want them just yet. It's tweaking it. It's not that I don't know how, it's just figuring out like the flow of making things better. I do have one little thing I have to figure out where certain extensions aren't routing the way I want after hours. And it's because we have a routing during our business hours for internal phones and the way we route them. But I think I have it solved by putting our cell phone numbers into ring groups so I can have our emergency calls route to cell phone numbers and things like that if needed. So those are a couple of little things that I got to finish. Actually, as soon as I'm done with this, that's what I got to go work on is doing that. Then I got to get the forms and from RingCentral to get the number ported over, get the porting requests all over, and bring everything over so our phones ring the way we're supposed to doing, the way they should. Because right now, if you call our phone number, it goes to RingCentral and then bounces to our Free PBX box. And then I got to decide if I want to buy a physical piece of hardware or keep it running in a VM. It runs in a VM. It seems to be working perfectly fine. But if I restart my VM stack, obviously it's going to cost me my phone system while it does it. But then again, we never really started a VM stack, so it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Something I got to think about when I'm doing some of the planning on there. I want to do some videos on capacity planning too. I thought about that when we built the server for the client because we're now running 7 servers in one physical box. So there's 7 virtual servers now running inside one machine, and how you have to think about that to build it. So I thought, and that's kind of fuzzy, like how I don't want to say fuzzy. There's some things that are hard, just hard numbers of how much memory does each VM need and how much more memory should we put in this machine, and will we eventually move into another machine? Are we going to do an HA setup? So I might do some of the things on there. So that's on my to-do list to get that on there. So I'm going to wind this down though in about another, 5 minutes or so. So if there's any other questions, throw them in the channel here. Love to answer them. Good. Willie's going to do a live stream too. Me and Willie need to do a live stream together. We and him have talked about it a couple times. We just haven't really gotten around to. We got to get the timing lined up. Willie's a really busy dude, so just like me. So when you get 2 busy people, we're trying to get in alignment. And then we got to do one with Chris from Crosstalk. If you don't know me, Chris and Willie all talk to each other. We're not rivals. We're friends. So, matter of fact, Chris Chris reminded me of something. My Amazon store had been broken for a while, and I had to contact Amazon to figure out where it went. So I had to delete all the links for Amazon store a while back, and I just never got around to putting it in. This is when my channel was small, so I didn't think about it. Now my channel's bigger, and we have the Amazon store set up and working now. So if you want to check out the Amazon store, you can, by the way. Thank you. If you want to help the channel out, and if you want any of the stuff we love, we're also filling it up in the Amazon store. We got it all set back up and working again. Weirdest thing, it only shows up when we log in Firefox, but doesn't show up when we log in Chrome. We even did a source check. It does not set this, it's called the influencer store. It doesn't even send it when we log in with Chrome, but it sends it fine when we log in with Firefox. Amazon doesn't know why. Their engineers are looking at it. It was their answer. They thought it was interesting. But I do have that set up. I think that's about it. Like I said, I need to get back to work. I need to get some more stuff going for projects we have. We're filming still, even right now as we speak, because it's in the afternoon here. My crew is on their way over to do that big build-out project in that warehouse that we've done a couple of videos on. There's some time lapses we have of some of the things going on there, so we're trying to make a big completed video. And once it gets to the next phase, I'm going to fly my drone through so you guys kind of get a perspective of how big the building is. Because a few people have asked me, do you exceed the cable run for total length on that? And actually we don't. But when I do my vlogging, when I did it on my phone or when I do it with my camera, I use a 10mm really wide lens. So you have this perspective that it's 400, 500, 600 feet to the back wall. It's actually about 250 feet to the back wall. So by the time you have the travel up the wall, down the wall, and where it lands, it's only like 280 feet. I don't know what that is in meters. Sorry for people outside the U.S. So yeah, that's it doesn't exceed the length that you can do the cable. So anyways, thanks again for watching. This is the end. I'm tired. I need to get back to finishing a couple more as all the voicemail boxes aren't all configured. So I got to go configure a few more voicemails for our system, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, and if you want to hire us to do some stuff, go to launchsystem.com, go into contact form, and tell us about the project you want us to help you with. If you're an IT company, that's absolutely right up our alley. We work with a lot of other IT companies kind of for some special projects and planning, or if you just want to have us do some consulting on an idea you have, that's something we can do as well. And it's, again, thanks, awesome, have a great time, appreciate it.